Turn to Article 300. General requirements for wiring methods and material. Replacement name for that article, rough-in rules. These are the installation methods we've come up with. They're proven. We begin at 300.4 bored holes. We see our typical 1.25 inch rule and our nail plate rule. 1.25 inch back from face of the stud and a 1/16 inch thick nail plate. So notably, where did this information come from? We went to all of the other NFPA manuals, began to look at framing and coverings, pulled together all the information related to every type of covering: luan, paneling, sheetrock, firerock, wood board, every available covering. And they're listed appropriate fastener. What we found out was, as long as they use the appropriate fastener, as long as we are 1.25 inches back from the face of the stud, we are in a safe place to bore a raceway or to snap in a metal stud, and we're good. Our nail plates are 1/16 thick and they're hardened. That's what makes them different from PVC plates. Ours have been hardened because we need to defeat a nail gun. And so we have found what works. We also took into consideration, as a little bit of additional information to fill in the blank, what is considered in framing as the 30% rule you've all been taught verbally. You're not allowed to take more than 30% of a wood member. So we actively look at what you use for boring holes. And so we find out if you take that stud 3.5 inches, 3.5, it means that at a maximum you can go up to 1.05 or 1 inch auger. And you are within your limit of 30%. Most of us rely on that 3/4 because we don't want to take too much and also not take enough. So we have actively found out in our work, most of the time that 3/4 is quite suitable. But knowing that detail is important for you to realize, because I have had that actual challenge be brought up. Well, I think a 3/4 is too big. What are you basing that on? Why don't we base it on something factual? It is a written rule in framing. We cannot take more than 30%. So therefore, all I need to do is take 3.5, which is a stud, and to multiply it by 0.30, and I get that 1.05, or I can take as much as 1 inch. That invalidates that statement of, I think a 3/4 is too big. So this is why I pass that kind of information on. But the commonality in looking up these questions is simply the 1.25 inch rule and a 1/16 nail plate. Not a lot to remember, is it? So suddenly we find out that that is our rule. So now if we are doing cables and raceways parallel to framing and forwarding strips, again, we see 1.25 inches. But suddenly at paragraph E, it says cables, raceways, and boxes installed in or under roof decking. And something went wrong. And now it's 1.5 inches. Something did go wrong. Fundamentals kicked in. Metal roofs got popular again. Everybody wanted one. Wanted that old farm look, old farmhouse look. They wouldn't even tear off your composite. They would just simply come out, lay down furring strips, put you a pretty metal roof on. And people, of course, wanted all the amenities that went with it. Outdoor fans, outdoor lights. And now we began to run all that non-metallic sheath cable, Romex, under that. And now, guess what? Fundamentals kicked in. Something that gets hot under something that gets hot in a concealed area. And we began to have failures. You had a problem. We had a problem. We need to react to the problem. We could have stood our ground. We could have said to all those contractors, you need to set up a saw. You need to rip everything to 1.25 inches. That's our rule. That wouldn't have gone well, would it? But we're all headed in the same direction. We're all trying to get that final. We're all trying to get that check and move on. So how do we solve the problem? Don't make other people work harder. What's the thickness of a 2x4? 1.5 inches. So guess what? We went to them and said, hey guys, don't buy furring strips anymore. Buy 2x4s and lay them flat. Then put your roof on. Problem solved. Didn't hurt any feelings. Didn't create any anxieties on the job. Didn't make anybody work any harder. Problem solved. Don't buy a furring strip. Buy a 2x4. Problem solved. Turn the page. Paragraph F says cables, raceways installed in shallow groove, 1.25 inches. Getting it? 1.25 inches. Sitting down. 16 thick nail plate. No problem. Thank you for watching our video. This was a sample of our paid training. If you're looking for someone to provide you with exam prep, or you're just looking for continuing education hours, go over to jcrproductions.com. We would love to see you in class and provide you with all the things you need for a professional electrical education. We're looking forward to seeing you in class.